Now, request Mr. R. Palani Murugan, Treasurer, IIF Southern Region, to introduce our guest of honor for the day, Dr. K.N.Sathyanarayana, Director, IIT Tirupati.
I am having immense pleasure to introduce our guest of honor, Professor Dr. K.N.Sathyanarayana, to the August gathering. Professor K.N.Sathyanarayana is currently the founding director of IIT Tirupati, Andhra Pradesh. He is on deputation from IIT Madras, where he has been a professor in the Building Technology and Construction Management Division of the Department of Civil Engineering. He received his B.Tech degree in Civil Engineering from IIT Madras. He then received MS and PhD degrees with a specialization in Construction Engineering and Management from Clemson University, USA. He has been a faculty member at IIT Madras since 1991, and in 2009 he was a visiting professor at Iowa State University, USA. His teaching, research and consulting interests are in the areas of project management, construction contracts, construction productivity, construction equipment, C&D waste management and public-private partnerships. He has published extensively in these areas. He is the recipient of many awards, including the Project Management Institute Distinguished Scholar Award 2011, and he is chairman of the Academic Advisory Group, Project Management Institute of India, Vice Chairman, Board of Advisors of the Glass Academy, expert member on the Board of Management of Building Materials and Promotion Council. He serves on the governing boards of academic institutions such as IISER Tirupati, NIT Tadapallikudam, IIT TDM Kurnool, IIT Sri City, AIIMS Mangalagiri and RGKUT. He serves as independent director on 5 company boards. Now I request Mr. K.N.Sathyanarayana to address the gathering.
Today's chief guest, Mr. Balavijan, Mr. Shaktivel Tirunavakasu, Sri Ranganathan, they've all become good friends, visited our institute a few times. The other Foundrymen, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, I don't see any ladies, so this industry needs some gender balancing that needs to be done. So good morning, everyone. Glad to be in the midst of Foundrymen. As was introduced already, I'm basically a civil engineer by training and specializing in the area of construction project management. But now as a director of an institution, one day I need to speak about quantum mechanics and quantum computing and so on. The next day on precision agriculture, and now on foundry and so on. So so first I thought I will talk a little bit about my institute, IIT Tirupati, because it's a new institute. So most of you may be wondering where it stands and where it's going. You know, the IIT system, which has been a major brand name for the country internationally, having produced many illustrious alumni, has been growing. And it's rightly growing based on the needs of the country. Our economy has been growing, the aspirations of the people and the various states are growing, and we have the capacity now to develop these institutions. You know, when the first generation IITs started in 1950s and early 60s, starting with Kharagpur in 1951 to IIT Bombay, then IIT Madras in 1959, and IIT Kanpur and IIT Delhi. You know, those days when we set up these institutions, we were dependent on some international aid, international expertise. For example, my alma mater and my home institute, IIT Madras, had Germans, then West Germany, associated with initial years in setting up the institute. A lot of equipment came from there, some of the faculty members also came from there when we got started off. But I think as a country, we have come a long way, and we don't need someone else to come and tell us how to set up our institutions and how to set up these things, because the way we are setting up our new institutes, people come and ask me, which country is your IIT associated with for setting up? And I keep telling them, I don't think we need that anymore. Okay. And the funding also from the government has been quite liberal. So in 2000, subsequently 2 more IITs were formed in Guwahati in 1994. A new IIT started, and then subsequently IIT Roorkee, University of Roorkee became an IIT, the oldest technical institution in the country. Of course, Anna University and College of Engineering Gindi actually, and Roorkee were the first engineering colleges to be started in the country in the 1850s and 60s. So these 7 IITs, we consider them as first generation IITs. And then in 2008, 8 more IITs started in Hyderabad and Patna, Bhubaneswar, Mandi and so on. And subsequently in 2015 and 16, 6 more IITs started. Okay, we call ourselves the 3rd generation IITs, 3G IITs. In Tirupati, Palakkad, Dharwad, Bhilai, Goa, Jammu. Okay. Now, the model that has been used in setting up these institutions has been one of the older IITs mentors a newer IIT till they find their feet and the institute is got its faculty in place and labs and other things in place. So IIT Madras, today considered the #1 institution engineering-wise or also as an institution. When the 2nd generation IIT started, they mentored IIT Hyderabad, which has actually grown the fastest among the 2nd generation IITs. And when the 3rd generation IITs came up, based on geographic proximity and so on, IIT Madras came forward to mentor both IIT Tirupati and IIT Palakkad. And I was sent in as a professor in charge on behalf of IIT Madras to get things started off from scratch. So I've been involved in setting up this institute from zero. So it's been a great opportunity to do this. And in the first couple of years, a lot of faculty from IIT Madras would come and teach at the institute. We started off from a temporary campus, and now we have grown out of the temporary campus. We completely moved our operations into the permanent campus. So we have a beautiful site, a 548-acre campus that we're building with a mountain backdrop. Many of your Foundrymen had the opportunity to come and visit us. And so obviously the best and the brightest and have been coming to these institutions. And all of us have strong core departments. But where do our kids go, our students when they graduate, especially our undergraduates, right, who are again the brightest relatively, today when I look at the data, barely 20% of my students who are in the core sector probably remain in the core sector. Almost 70 to 80% move on to other sectors, whether it's IT or analytics or business, consulting, and so on, right? So unless you get bright people into the sector, you're not going to be able to do some fundamental work. Otherwise, we'll only be a hands doing manufacturing and so on. So this is something the industry needs to really introspect. Your competition is not the other foundry in terms of attracting manpower or other manufacturing companies, right? Your competition is the IT sector, and your competition is in terms of getting manpower. So what do we need to do? Why are these kids not getting into the core sector and moving on to the other sectors? Of course, we have a society, have an issue that we value more people who sit behind a desk or do things with their hands or computer or their mind rather than do work with the hand. Work with hands and use the skills. We have a social issue there. But also there's an issue of the IT sector's salaries and other things going through the roof. My average BTech computer science student salary is about 16 or 17 lakhs. Fresh student. 16, 17 lakhs is what my BTech student with IIT Tirupati is getting, which is a new IIT. Older IIT is probably a little bit more. Okay? The best salary a core sector I being a civil engineer, of course, they give the lowest. right? The guys come and say, oh, 6 lakhs also is very difficult, we can offer 4 to 5 lakhs. The manufacturing sector also comes, right? They say 6 lakhs, 7 lakhs. The other day, one company was coming and my students, my placement team comes and tells me, none of our students are ready to attend the interviews unless at least the package is 10 lakhs. They're not even willing to show up for the interview, okay? I'm putting all these facts in front of you so that you're aware about the new gen, right? Expectations. We call them the distracted generation. We talk them about, and they have more options, right? When you and I, at least when I and some of the older people on this thing, when we graduated, say 30 years back or so, our thing was to get a job somehow, right? But today they have so many options. They have so many options. They have, and the wealth of the families are much better now, right? That they can explore and take risks, right? So unless we do about this, and second thing is creating excitement about that area. They talk about role models. Now when people read in the papers and what they see, role models, right? Elon Musk and our Satya Nadella, right? These kinds of are the names that stick to their mind. You tell me how many manufacturing leaders are projected as that these people look as aspirational, right? So there's a large requirement that the industry also comes and gets these kids excited, get them, and the other problem in India is 80% of the decisions or 90% of the decisions made by parents, not the kids. No, not really. Maybe the thing, even today, the first thing is when I ask, my first years come and sit there and ask them, what is it? I'm very happy because my parents will be happy because I got into IIT. He is not happy because he's achieved something. He's happy because his parents will be proud to go around tell everyone that my kid got into IIT. Okay. So other day, just last week. Okay, partners are different. I'm talking about careers. I'll tell you, last week I had this case. One of my students, he's got an internship at NTU on wireless energy transmission, which is a very hot area now. Now, if he has to go for the internship, he says, the internship, they say NTU, National Technological University, Singapore, he's going to lose a semester because he's going to go there for the internship. He has to make up those credits when he comes. So I told, this is a great opportunity, go. But he says, my parents, this is a final year student, third year students. He says, no, my parents are not. They're saying you have to graduate in 4 years. But I said, otherwise you will miss the placement bus or you will miss it. But I said, if you're really, and he says, I'm passionate about this area. I said, if you're passionate, go. So what in a 30, 40 year career, one semester knowledge gaining, and tomorrow then he says, no, company will ask me, you're supposed to finish in 4 years, you're taken 4.5 years to finish, maybe you're weak or but then I said, if you really see, if a company is working in this area and you have taken the effort to go deep dive into this and get more knowledge and come in, a company should be willing to take you. But he says, my parents are not agreeing. Okay, so I called the parents. Okay, I called the parents. In Singapore, people called me, in fact, saying, why is this kid not coming when we're giving such a big opportunity? The kid says, sir, I can't do anything. My parents don't. I said, I called the parents. But parents say, no, if he doesn't finish in 4 years, what everyone will say, so on. I'm just telling you the fact that this is just a hot thing which is just a week back. So our kids are still not doing things because they're passionate, because they got a rank, they're very good, they're good at cracking exam, they got a rank, everyone is taking computer science, go take computer science. Not because I have an aptitude for that. Now there are some kids who are quite passionate once they come in. But my analysis of the situation is that if the pay cut is 20 to 30%, maybe even 40%, they're willing to do it, right? If the IT guy is paying 15 lakhs and this sector gives 10 lakhs, I find there are few kids who want to forgo their 5 lakhs and come to the 10 lakhs. But if it is 6 lakhs, there's no way he can justify to himself or to his parents or to his uncles and aunts and relatives and cousins as to why he is taking such a hit on his pay, right? So the other thing is industry coming and engaging with the academia. Now IITs and many academic institutions are very much focused on this. We are now very strongly pushing translational research, that is research that can be taken in industry directly. There's a lot of talk. For example, I was at the Defense Expo 2 weeks back in Gandhinagar, and because we have signed an MOU with Hindustan Shipyard on welding and so on. And there were about 10 other IIT directors I've bumped into there. You know, they're trying to understand what's happening with the thing, and because the defense is a big sector that is opening up. So there are a lot of these opportunities, and we are from day one been very engaged with the industry. My colleague who is here, Dr. Rajay Kumar, he's one guy who is really been in touch. He's brought in the Institute of Indian Foundrymen into our campus and started a chapter in our institute. We have an Foundry 4.0 initiative that he has started there, and so on. And we have also started running industry institute workshops at our institute. We had one with manufacturing sector. We had a lot of companies, Ashok Leyland, Bharat Benz, all these people come and participate there. And then we ran another industry day with the EMC, Electronic Manufacturing Cluster companies, because Tirupati is an EMC company. So we are looking forward to work very closely with the industry. As a new institute, we are, unlike the old institute, a lot of legacy equipment, like old stuff. All our facilities we are creating are brand new, latest equipment, and I've been pushing to where we have aligning with certain industries, set up testing facilities related to those industries and so on. In fact, we have built a 85,000 square feet central instrumentation facility to do especially material characterization, high-end microscopes, SEMS, clean rooms, and so on, characterization and so on. So we are in almost finalization stage of setting up a center of excellence on smart factories along with Siemens and Wipro in our institute, a 60 crore initiative focused on smart factories and manufacturing. Yesterday, I went and half a day I spent with the TANSEM. I don't know how many of you are aware. I was quite impressed. Siemens has set up a Tamil Nadu Smart and Advanced Manufacturing Center in Tidal Park. A 35,000 square feet center with Dr. Armugam, Broadline. He is operating it, but it's by Siemens, where especially MSME and even the other companies can go do modeling of their manufacturing process, create digital twins, and before you do the actual implementation. So I see the Tamil Nadu government really giving these platforms for these organizations to work with. So we're also, what we are trying, setting up our institute is also a very similar center for the industry. And as I told you, we are a national institute, we are not just the thing, so we are open to work with the industry very closely across. And our proximity to Chennai is, in fact, at Sri City, there are about 170, 180 companies. So I'm working on setting up an industry institute instruction center there, so that we can bring a common platform for academic institution and industry to work also. I see that, and I've been very impressed with the kinds, as a professional body, the commitment of the Foundrymen group, especially the Chennai chapter group, the way they've been conducting programs. They come to our institute, conducted 2 programs in our institute, engaging with our institute, and the way they've been running these programs, really impressed. I've seen the publications they've been bringing out, and so on. I think you guys are doing a great job, and we are there to work with you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, sir. I'm not sure if it was coincidental or planned, but the previous speaker spoke about the young generation, and our guest of honor has clearly taken the baton and told us how to harness the younger generation and how to keep them interested in our manufacturing industry. So thank you for this valuable speech, sir. Now I request Mr. S.V. Ranganathan, Organizing Committee Chairman, to facilitate Mr. K.N.Sathyanarayanan with our traditional Angavastram. And now, we request Mr. Sanjay Shroff, past National President IIF, to facilitate Mr. K.N. Satyanarayana with a memento.